The NEC TurboGrafx-16, a stopgap in gaming somewhere between the Nintendo Entertainment System and the Sega Genesis. In 1990, this was really hot stuff. The games came on these tiny credit card-shaped game cartridges, and the system came with a set of turbo controllers. My friend John here seems pretty enamored with his new best friend.
Oh, yes. Look, Mommy. Oh, thanks.
Growing up, I didn't get to experience the Turbo when it was brand new like this.
I've been begging for this.
It's a shame too, because it was a killer arcade gaming console, right in line with the stuff Dad and I were playing and loving on our Sega Genesis. Now my buddy Chris, on the other hand, was a TurboGrafx kid early on and the only friend of mine who owned one. That's him working a Time Crisis gun con like a pro. Chris and I were the best of friends back in those days, somewhere around 1992, and whenever I was over at Chris's house, man, I'd be lying if I said the TurboGrafx didn't capture my utmost attention. I remember late nights playing Galaga 90 with Chris's family. His dad loved Military Madness. I'm not overstating that either. Chris's dad bought a portable Turbo Express so he could take Military Madness with him on long business trips.
What are you saying?
The great thing about video game collecting in the 90s was that you could still find this stuff in department stores.
Old TurboGrafx?
Especially when they were being discontinued. And that's when Dad and I made our move on a Turbo Duo.
Yes, it's the Super CD-ROM 2 system by Turbo Technologies TurboGrafx. This is it. Finally, you get to see it in the flesh. The Turbo Duo. Yes, the original box from 3 years ago when it was released, and now discontinued, very hard to find. Take a look at these features. Sleek body and design. Look how thin it is. It's only like an inch high. Has a space compartment to put the little card chips, which are their cartridges. Also has a pop-up door for your CDs to go in. And once you do put them in, you can lock it to make sure that it doesn't pop out by mistake. Yes, the all-in-one Turbo Duo with Super CD-ROM. Check out the controller. It has turbo switches for buttons 1 and 2, select and run, and of course your cursor. Sleek and nicely designed. CDs and game cartridges come in CD jewel cases, as pictured here. Nice and compact, each with its own directions inside. Another example of the fine design on the boxes. Yes, it's the Duo. Even the old cartridges come in these CD jewel cases. And here it is, the original box, the Turbo Duo Multimedia CD Video Entertainment System with Zonk as the mascot. They give you a bunch of stuff inside, as you can read for yourself. All kinds of games inside the box. Even free gift certificates with coupons up to $50 off games, which you cannot redeem anymore because the company, NEC, does not make this machine anymore. This came out in '92. Christmas '92. The original TurboGrafx-16 logo, which is now the Super CD-ROM 2. As you can read, it plays everything, the original games and the new ones. The back of the box describes more detail about the games and the Super CD-ROM. And the library of turbo chips, as you can see, that can also play on it. A great system, incredible colors, great audio, good graphics. Too bad it's defunct and no longer exists. What do you have to say about that?
Sega!
Why Satan? You should have said Duo, Turbo.
Duo, Turbo, whatever. I don't know why it discontinued. It's such a great system.
Isn't it?
Yes, it was. Even though a brand new Sony PlayStation threatened to consume all of our time, the Turbo received just as much attention from Dad and I.
Oh, power-ups.
By Christmas of 1995, TurboGrafx games were getting hard to find. Most of the time, the only way to obtain them was through a mail-order catalog called TurboZone Direct. I have so many wonderful memories flipping through this catalog, just dreaming about collecting all of these TurboGrafx games. And Dad must have noticed, because that Christmas, a Turbo Zone package was delivered to my house.
TurboGrafx? Legend of the Tomonic? What's that? Wait a second, this looks familiar.
Keep looking.
Legend of Hero Tomona.
Keep looking in the box, honey.
Oh, look in the box. That's like a 90 and Superstar Soldier.
Is that another TurboGrafx?
Yeah, another kind of Galaga thing, but it looks great.
Galaga 90. This is the game I played all the time at my friend Chris's house. It's one of the TurboGrafx games that made me fall in love with the system.
Legendary X2! Where'd you find all these?
That distributor in California.
Turbo Zone Direct. Many of our rarest Turbo games came from them, some of which were in this very box.
Bomberman 93! Yes, yes!
That's not the rare one.
Oh, some CDs in here also. The Dynastic Hero!
That's the rare one. The Dynastic Hero was a TurboGrafx CD title released very late in the system's life. I didn't know it back then, but what I was holding would turn out to be the rarest and most sought-after Turbo CD game ever released, and the rarest game in my entire collection.
That's the sequel to Dragon's Trap. Well, Dragon's...
Wonder Boy. Now get ready for the epic adventure, the sequel to the Wonder Boys, after the Dragon's Trap called...
The Dynastic Hero.
Let's go.
Just a moment, please.
That's her hair?
TurboGrafx.
I can't help but sense the joy that my dad must have felt giving these games and collecting them with me. Over the years, collecting on Christmas, it sort of turned into our thing. It became a family tradition for us.
TurboGrafx! TurboGrafx!
Oh my goodness.
In these days before the internet, there was an urgency that went along with collecting for these systems.
Samurai Ghost. Ghost Manor. Time Cruise. Impossible and Vegas Tactical Gladiator.
Santa Claus came through, huh?
Uh-huh.
Is that a big surprise?
Yeah.
Old TurboGrafx games you can't find anymore, huh?
I know.
Old brand new.
It was as if the future of their very existence depended on us.
Well, Santa Claus gave you a special treat. Games you can't find anywhere.
If we didn't collect it and preserve it, then who would?
Hey, Santa Claus left something for Maggie, huh?
Look!
Doggy bones.
Look! Go see! Come on.